Alright, before getting into this video installment, it's probably a good thing to do our little introduction here and address some of the ongoing circumstances with this collection of videos. So, it's pretty obvious that at this point I'm very behind on level completions, and I mean, like, I'll talk a little bit about that. Although, if you don't want to listen to all this, you can probably just skip to the first level. It doesn't really matter. Because the thing about this series, it's really more of like a completion archive than it is like a continuous series. Like, I would play these videos because I would like to have, documented completions and reviews for everything I go through. But that is, it's really hard to make efficient progress for the purposes of a series. So I try to keep these as on track as I possibly can, but if it gets behind, it's kind of a weird situation because I don't think anybody's necessarily invested enough in this series. Be concerned with deadlines and whatever, but I do like to try to keep it on track just for my own sake. But I can just discuss here, what has happened. I mean, it's really just a collection of the end of the semester, being busy. I got really tied up with a lot of things back in late April, which put me behind a lot, and that continued into May, beyond the end of the semester, where I was suddenly overwhelmed with a bunch of things going on at home regarding construction and work and all that. Nothing terrible, obviously, just little things that kind of disrupt the progress and how much I'm able to effectively get done. So that's really just the way things are going. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter that much. I'm just here to play some levels, and I like to have them uploaded. That's really the primary concern with this video series. I'm going to do my best to get on track, even if that means playing nothing but 2 stars in July. I will get through it, because I still have... This is obviously only part 1 of the May completions, and there's still a handful more to go that I need to do. I've recorded ahead a good bit, but there's still some things that are going to take a while. And then the entirety of the June agenda, which I will be hitting most likely at the start of July. Rest assured, by the end of the summer, everything should be caught up, even if it means playing nothing but free levels for an entire month, with the occasional hard demon here and there. But we're just going to have to see how that goes. It shouldn't be a huge deal either way. We're just kind of along for the ride. The other thing I just want to talk about, this video is going to be structured a little bit differently. For the sake of being efficient as I can and getting in the difficult completions when it's readily available to me, I've kind of restructured this video in a way. I have played a lot of things out of order. So the order you're going to see at the end of this video is going to be completely off from the order that I actually played them. They'll still appear in the video in the same chronological order, but if you see stats that look kind of funky, like the number just jumps around all over the place, that's really why. Because I would jump ahead and play some of the easy demons before I actually was, at the point in the schedule where I wanted to have those, so on and so forth. But this video is going to be kind of divided up into like 4 chapters. The first chapter of this video is going to be the stuff I played prior to all of the easy stuff I kind of played in the first half of May, which is not a lot. It's a few gauntlet level, a couple weekly demons, that kind of stuff, plus a couple of easier things. It's really not a lot. And then the second half of this video will be a wide collection of hard to insane demons. It only totals to about like 6 or 7 or 8 or something like that. So it's actually not a ton, but it is not an insignificant number, I wouldn't say. But that's how the first part will be divided up until the halfway point, which is an extreme demon, which you can very easily see from the YouTube thumbnail and video chapters. But either way, that's regardless. You have those 2, and then the next video is going to be focused on the second half of the hard/insane demon streak, and then it'll close out with a collection of easy demons and medium demons that I really wanted to play. Because before I get into the randomized demon challenge for the month 6 agenda, I wanted to play some levels that looked appealing to me, because I haven't really played as many levels as I would have liked to earlier in this year, and there were some things that have been on my agenda for a while that I really wanted to do. Just some easy demons and stuff that caught my attention a while back. But that's really about all there is to it. Anyways, so the order's a little bit weird. The other thing I'll note is that regarding weekly demons, that's also going to be like way off. What I've decided, just for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to put all of the weeklies and events that I played in May in this video, which I don't think there were any events, but there was an event level in June that will be in this video, the second part of May, just for the sake of simplicity, and it keeps those levels out of the June agenda, so that way it's 100 randomized demons with the exception of the milestones. So basically it's 96 randomized demons instead of some weeklies that are not really my choice, but are still, it doesn't feel right to not be using the RNG in those circumstances, because I don't know, it just feels like levels are too curated. Anyways, that took a little bit longer to say than I really thought it would, but I just wanted to give a quick rundown of everything that's going to be happening in this video installment. Really just enjoy the completions regardless of how terribly timed they are. Authenticity is not my concern of this series. The whole point is just to have an archive of stuff to use for later, and put some reviews out there, because that's, I think, what is at the core of this game. That's all I have to say. Hopefully that makes sense, but if it doesn't really matter. Just, you know, we're just gonna roll with it. Anyways, enjoy the completions, and I hope, yeah, I don't know. I'm a ball, but I'm not. Or am I? Sweet. I am happy about this. You don't know how happy this makes me. Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. That's a little vague. Okay, so, this level. This is promising. This is like a really good choice for this gauntlet. Wow. Okay, I'm a little scatterbrained. I don't know what I'm talking about exactly. Okay. This is a really good sign. I think that's a good first level to this gauntlet. Because, okay, like, here has been my issue with the last couple of gauntlets. The levels just, I guess the love gauntlet's a little bit exempt, but like, the levels just didn't feel like they had personality in the spooky gauntlet, or, okay, maybe I'm exaggerating. I think the tail end of 2024 had some bad choices. I wasn't a big fan of some of the picks for, you know, Force Gauntlet, and Christmas Gauntlet. I just felt like those were kind of like half-baked rush choices. Oh, and the Power Gauntlet. But, that improved a little bit last year, and I think, but then the Spooky Gauntlet, I don't know. The Spooky Gauntlet really threw me off, because that one, it wasn't bad. The levels themselves were good, but they were just like painfully like just good. Like, there wasn't much personality in those levels, except for Spoopier. But like, that was also a sequel to an already existing gauntlet level. So basically what I'm trying to say is that this level just feels like it has a lot more personality. Yes, it's flawed. Yes, it has its issues. I think the camera's a little bit motion sickness. And I think the decoration can be a little thick lined sometimes. It looks good though. I think it has a lot of really interesting locations. Like this is the kind of things you wouldn't realize on an initial playthrough, but looking at this, you can see the city in the background. There's just in the cloudy sky. It just looks really nice, and the level has a lot of cool details like that. And I actually really like the boss. It's short, it's sweet, and it's got a lot of indicators, but the attacks feel unique, and you have to learn to approach them in different ways. It's still not a very hard level. This could probably have been 7 stars if you ask me, but I think it's really fun, and I think it's a great Gauntlet starter. I did see that this creator was disappointed that this level got placed in the Gauntlet, but I don't have a problem with it personally. I think it's a great choice, and I think they should, be able to realize that. I don't know, but anyway, sweet. I mean, I can see people are hating on this. Which is unfortunate. I think it's a good level. Is it perfect? No. I mean, but is it really that bad? Is it really worse than a lot of the daily level slop we see? No, this is good. I like this level a lot. It's tough. There, but I'm not able to remember everything that comes up, so there we go. This is great. I love it. This is such a good Gauntlet so far, dude. I'm very happy with this so far. Okay, this level, so I have slightly mixed opinions on it. Obviously I like it. I sung my praises at first. I think this level very well could have been an 8. I have 2 somewhat significant complaints that hold it back a little bit. I still like the level a lot. I think, first of all, the gameplay is just a very easy thing to complain about slightly. I don't mind that much because it is creative, but I do think some assets blend into the background a little bit. I think some of the floating blocks and the chained platforms in particular, got it in the screenshot, dang it. Some of the chained platforms do sort of blend in with the background a little bit because of the color combination and yada yada yada, you get the gist. It just makes it a little hard to see. So, in a level that's all about trying to kind of navigate these maze-like structures, you're supposed to react to complicated gameplay because it's not super memorable from practice mode, but it is enough to where it's not going to feel unfair. But it does want you to sight read just a little bit based on the structure of the level, which I think is fine. Making some assets a little bit more clear would help a little bit, though, especially because some of the jump spacings are a bit off. I'm being nitpicky. I still appreciate the gameplay's creative. The other thing that I was going to complain about, though, I could say complain. Just the other nitpick I have is that some of the animations feel a little static. I'm not sure Boneyard was really the best song for this level. It just doesn't really match the moment-to-moment action of the level because it feels like every section should be underscored by some like some audible feedback, but it's not really, which is not a huge deal, but it is a bit of a strange thing to me. I just felt like the level could have felt a little bit livelier. That's really all I'd say, and I think some sound effects might have helped. Usually I don't like sound effects, but I feel like in this level they just would have been weirdly appropriate, but whatever, it doesn't matter that much. I like the level though. I think it's just really creative, and I'll give it a very solid 7. I wanted to go 8, but those little nitpicks do drag it back a little bit for me, but still, I mean, like, just briefly touching on as a gauntlet choice, it's fantastic. I love it. I'm all for this because it just has personality. It has charm. I think there's a lot of creativity going on here, and it doesn't feel forced into the gauntlet. Like, I'm sure RobTop pulled it because it was a recent level, somewhat. Like, yeah, it was made just a few months ago, so I'm sure if you were to just scroll through epic, insane levels, and then, you know, like how long would it take, you know? This is the thing I kind of always think about when RobTop is choosing levels for gauntlets. Like, how long does it take to, like, find, like, how obligatory was this as a choice? I guess it takes a little bit longer than I thought it would. But I just kind of want to solidify the point I'm trying to make. I'm also kind of seeing what else is around here. Although maybe it's not as obvious of a choice as I thought. I don't know. It sounds like I'm criticizing the level. I feel like I'm saying, you know, it wasn't a good choice. No, I absolutely think it is. But I'm just kind of curious about this. Although I'm not finding it, so I guess I might be wrong. Maybe this one's on me. I did kind of assume it was going to be a bit more obligatory, but I guess not. So good on the level. I assumed it'd come up faster. Anyways, that's just a tangent. I think it fits though. I mean, it's more of a sewer level than it is an acid level. Even the toxic elements are more like toxic fumes instead of liquid acid. And as such, I might have preferred the toxic gauntlet for this, but they're so similar, like, who cares? It's fine. It's a good choice. It's a good level. It fits the gauntlet just from a pacing standpoint. Probably more than Sorville, actually. I think I might have, well, I don't know. I was about to say I would have put Sorville after Savage Sewer, but then you have two levels that have sewer in the name right next to each other, which just feels a little odd, but it doesn't matter that much. I'm just being really nitpicky. I think it's a good pick for the gauntlet, just a gauntlet in general, and it's fun. So it's a solid 7. I'm a fan. go. Jeez. Didn't expect to be playing a borderline hard demon in this gauntlet. That's kind of wild, isn't it? Coin route specifically, I should clarify. Yeah, this coin's hard. I would say just that robot at the end alone is like pretty much hard demon difficulty. That's tough. It's Destriv. Destriv makes hard coins, so I shouldn't be surprised. But they're usually good coins too. I need to play more. I know I was kind of hating on Destriv before I played that level. I guess that was kind of overblown. But I should have known it was going to be tricky because Destriv also made, what was it called, Jet Streams, and Jet Streams did have pretty hard coins. So, yeah, I guess I'm not surprised about that. That's a good level though. I'm a fan. Yeah, that was better than I was expecting it to be. I've kind of heard before that this level was not very good from one particular source that tends to be mostly reputable. But in this case, I actually kind of liked this level. And it's crazy because it's a pixel level. I don't like pixel levels typically, but I think they work in this context because it doesn't feel like a pixel level. It feels like a city level. And the pixels lend themselves well to these sort of rigid dystopian designs that you would see in an infected city, you know. And there's a lot of obvious effort and love that went into making them nice, so it doesn't feel as lazy or as weird as it might in a lot of other levels. It's still not perfect, but I think it works here decently well, and I think the theme is really well executed because the level has this super sneaky feeling to it, like, you know, with how I don't know, it feels like a song out of like Doom or something. I don't know about that, but like some sort of game like that where, like, you know, you're braving some harsh environment. I don't know, I think it works really well in that context. And it's just fun. I mean, the gameplay's pretty good overall, I think. Like I said, again, the coin is rough, but it plays with a lot of unique mechanics, especially the crushers and the spider section. That's really cool, even if it might be a little bit derivative of Crushed by Subwoofer, but whatever. But I like that. I like this whole level. This whole level, it had a lot of really unique gameplay concepts. My only gameplay complaint would be that it uses a lot of indicators, and the indicators are especially annoying for the coin since they throw off your muscle memory. Like, because there's certain indicators, like the indicators are for the main path, but you know, sometimes you don't want to click where there is one, or you want to click where there's not one, and it's just kind of, it's a bit of a mess. I still like it, it's fine. I don't think it ruins the level, it's just one little nitpick I have, but I'm kind of shocked. I'd give it an 8. I think it's a solid 8 tier level. I had a lot of fun with this, especially the coin route. And I think it's got a good atmosphere. Again, I would give it a low 8 just because it does use the pixel blocks. And if it did expand its style a little bit more, I probably would have given it more credit, but I think it's fine. And it works really well in the context of this gauntlet. That's a great easy demon to jump out of an 8-star. It's kind of stylistically similar gameplay-wise. It's a pixel level that doesn't feel painfully generic. I appreciate that. The acid theme, it's not super prevalent, but it's prevalent enough. There's definitely acid in the level, although it definitely does feel a little bit more in the toxic train of thought, but yeah, whatever, who cares? No, I like this level a good bit, and I think it's a great fit for this gauntlet, because it's a nice, less well, a million downloads is kind of a lot, I guess. I don't know where that stands compared to everything else, but a million is a good deal. But what I'm trying to say is it's a nice, chilled out, less hyper popular easy demon before absolute garbage, which is mega popular, and it'll be a nice victory lap after the trouble I was going through with Necrus. This one will be chill. I don't even think I need to practice this. I might if I don't get it quickly, but I should be totally fine. Whoa, I got that close at the end. Yeah, this level's chill. I love it. It's a good level. I mean, I gave this one an A tier back in May of last year, and I remain firm in my opinion in May of this year. It's a good level. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it would have fit a different gauntlet more. Like, I'm just trying to think. Like, what other gauntlets are coming? Like, we've gone through a lot of them at this point. I feel like Toxic probably would have made more sense. I feel like Inferno would have made a lot of sense. That one's already out, obviously. I might have saved it for an upcoming gauntlet, just because, you know. I mean, the acid theme is not really there. It's more lava than it is acid. But, like, I felt like this was gonna be in a gauntlet one way or another. And there are bits of acid influence in this level, so, fine. Wouldn't have been my first choice or anything, but, I mean, I'm fine with it. What I'm about to say, though. It's a good level. If you want my full review of the level itself, go back to the May 2025 video. But as a gauntlet pick, I think it's a fitting finale. I wouldn't have gone with this gauntlet, but, it's fine. It's chill. That's a good gauntlet. I like this one. Yeah, that's a really good set of levels right there. Sorville and Absolute Garbage were levels I absolutely wanted to see in this or the Toxic Gauntlet. I wanted to see Absolute Garbage more than Toxic, and I kind of wanted to see Sorville and Toxic more at first, but this is totally fine. It's totally appropriate. But Sewer Showdown, Savage Sewer, Necrus, all solid levels, 7 to 8s. Yeah, I'd give Sewer Showdown and Savage Sewer both a 7 out of 10 high B tier, respectively. Necrus is a pretty low A tier, 8 out of 10. Methinks. But this is a great gauntlet, and it's a huge step up from the freaking spooky gauntlet. I will never forgive this gauntlet for being painfully generic and uninteresting. I act as though it's the last gauntlet that came out. Now, the Love Gauntlet was actually moderately fine, but I do think that this gauntlet is a complete step in the right direction. Huge improvement over a couple of the previous ones that we've got lately. I think that's a very, very solid gauntlet all around. And I'm always happy to see a new good gauntlet. Good job on that one, RobTop. You did good. Okay, gotta hit it again. Got it. Go. Come on, man. Let's go. I feel so cool. I beat this with no practice, man. I'm just that good. Hell yeah. That's how you know it's a good sight-readable level, though. I mean, listen, sight reading is not a quality a level has to have to be good, obviously. I don't think that's the case. I couldn't care less about sight readability, but I saw this level use Citadel, which is a pretty syncable song. This level doesn't really sync to it, and I'll go on about that in a second, but I was like, you know, it'd be really fun to just try to beat this level with that practice. I mean, like, I was willing to go into practice if it was going to be too blind, but honestly, this level's ridiculously fair. Like, I mean, that's just not really a quality or anything. It's just really fair, though. I mean, that's just kind of what I'm thinking to myself, you know? Plays really, really, really well. That's not even mentioning just how fun it is and creative it is. Lots of direction switches and stuff, but like they all make sense. They are telegraphed really nicely, but they're not painfully obvious either. This level's just really, really fun. Yeah, no, it's a great time. I love how gimmicky it is, but it still plays it relatively straight to the point where it can be reasonably sight-read. There's just a good balance, and it focuses so much on the playing experience, although it doesn't cheap out on the visuals necessarily. Yeah, it uses pixel blocks. Yeah, it's a little bit ugly for that. I'm not a fan of pixel blocks. Not my favorite style, not my thing, not my... Yeah, whatever, though. It does make good use of the pixel blocks, though, wherever it can. They're put together in a really interesting way that does the underground environment super well. So it definitely feels like a lively environment, even if the decoration style is a little redundant. And usually that'd make a level a 7, but honestly, I had so much fun with the gameplay in this level, I feel like I'd go with an 8 for it. It'd be a low 8, because again, the visual design is lackluster, just from a creativity perspective. But it's creative with what it does, or what it has. And again, the gameplay carries. Overall, I really did enjoy this one. I'm sad I missed out on it as a weekly because, you know, I didn't get to it in time. My computer was down for a little bit, which is a shame. But it was nice to play this level and be able to just kind of vibe for a bit. That was a great time. I loved that. Super fun. There we go. Hell yeah. Okay. This is a really fun level. I'll start by saying, like, if there's one thing that's kind of just weird to me about this level, it is the gameplay. Like, okay, it's entirely spider, right? Like, yeah, obviously. The whole level is spider, which is clever. I'm going to talk a little bit about just spider levels in general here in a minute, because I actually have a lot to say on that, more than I do the level itself. Because I really don't have any problems with this level. Other than the gameplay, like, it just being spider means it's not, like, super interesting or anything. It's really, like, it's about, you know, figuring out what the click patterns are, even if, like, it's not entirely obvious at first. That's just how spider works. You know, you have to kind of memorize, or analyze the layout of the level and then work around that. Because it's not always obvious how certain parts work. Because sometimes you might, instead of dropping off a ledge, you might want to click twice, and then, you know, it's different. I think the level still plays well, although it's not the most interesting thing of all time, just because of, you know, spider being a difficult gameplay to work with, or game mode to work with creatively. So it's kind of at a disadvantage in that regard. But the thing about this level I do like, it does the visuals really well. I think it does a lot of creative things with mostly... Is it all... No, it's not all pixel. Well, maybe I'm zooming in too far and it's just like, you know. But you know, it's a pixel level, but like the pixels feel warranted because it definitely feels like it's the level's style instead of just the choice it made because it was easier to use pixel blocks than to do its own designs. And I think this person's other spider level, wherever that may be, Weaver, yeah. Like, obviously this level does not use the pixel aesthetic, so clearly it's a little bit more, it's not like it's a choice that's being made out of, like, constellation. Like, obviously this creator knows how to work with other styles and they just did pixel block. It's a stylistic choice. It makes it feel very retro. It worked with the song pretty nicely. Overall, I think that's really cool. So for this level itself, I would probably go with an 8. I think I might lean towards 7 later on, but I think it's just really well executed and cool, even if it's not the most enjoyable thing ever, but somewhere between 7 and 8 for this one. But that's not really what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about more than anything is just spider levels as a whole. Because here's the thing. We know what the upcoming gauntlets are. We know what's going to be next on the docket. And we know one of them is a spider gauntlet. And I don't think it's a coincidence that since 2.2 has started, we've seen a lot of spider-themed levels. Like, this is just like off the top of my head, but you've got these two by Entium, you've got Free the Boys by Pock, you've got some Funky Fries level in there, you've got Creepy Crawlers by, I think their name was Goober. Did they change their name? I guess let's claim this now. I don't have it open for any particular reason. Right? I feel like this person changed their name, but yeah, I caught a bird. So yeah, a lot of spider-themed levels that feel very obviously in line with the Spider Gauntlet. And I just feel kind of mixed on that. Like, it feels like these levels aren't being, I don't know, they're all really creative. I don't want to say they're not being made out of love or passion, because they very clearly are. I think these are really well executed spider levels, but it feels like it's turning into a gauntlet contest that's not really an official gauntlet contest. Like, if that makes sense. People just seem to be trying a little bit too hard to make a level that's spider gauntlet worthy, and I feel like this is not a good thing. Because in the end, a lot of creators are going to end up hurt because their spider-themed levels that they made in hopes of getting into this gauntlet just aren't going to make the cut. Like, I can't say every single level was made with the spider gauntlet in mind, but people are pushing for it. And I just don't think... I don't know how healthy that is. Because, like, these levels also cover a wide spread of difficulty ranges. Like, you've got 4 stars like Weaver and Free the Boys, but then you also got, like, demons like this one right here. Obviously, either way, Entium's kind of in the clear. But it's just weird to me because people are making all these spider levels, and I feel like they have this vision in mind for what's going to happen. They're like, yes, this is my opportunity to be in a gauntlet because it's such a niche genre level prior to 2.2. Like, because I feel like there are some. I feel like there's one called Luster. These aren't necessarily spider levels. They're levels with a spider theme, but they are not exclusively spider game mode. But you've got this one that's got a spider theme. What's the other? I know it's by AutoNick. I think it's by AutoNick, but AutoNick has a lot of levels. I might be scrolling for a second, but regardless, yeah, there's just a lot of levels that could potentially... There it is, Elzico. Like, there's another spider level that's epic rated. I know it's really old, so it might not stand much of a chance. But, like, I want to see more old levels represented in gauntlets as well. Let's not forget that. I'm kind of over levels in gauntlets just being recent 2.2 levels. Like, that kind of happened with the Acid Gauntlet, because most of these levels are relatively recent. Storyville's a good choice. But Sewer Showdown and Savage Sewer, I like them a lot, and I think they're good gauntlet picks, so I'm not mad about it. But then there's also gauntlets like freaking spooky, where you've got these like super duper. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. You have these super duper recent level uploads, and it just feels less interesting to me. I want to see more old levels chosen for gauntlets, because the last few have really focused a lot on 2.2 specifically. And the level, not just 2.2 levels, but 2.2 levels that don't really feel quite as gauntlet worthy. I know I'm being kind of snobby, but I do want to see more old level representation, and people trying to cram all these newer levels into gauntlets, trying so hard to be in them. It just rubs me the wrong way. I still have gone on, it's a tangent, because obviously I'm talking more about this level trend than I am about Recluse itself, but it's just something that concerns me. We'll see what happens in the end, but I feel like the Spider Gauntlet needs to drop soon, otherwise we're going to have a lot of hurt creators who have poured their souls into levels that have the Spider Gauntlet in mind, but then just don't get chosen because there's just no way you can represent all of those in a gauntlet. It's weird. Anyway, that's just a tangent. I like this level. It's pretty fun. Good weekly choice. What do I have to say though? Not too bad all around, though. I had a good time with that. Yes! Let's go! I got an icon for that? Let's go, man. That's good timing right there, isn't it? I appreciate the icon just to celebrate this, because 3 coins on a 9-star is not inherently the most exciting thing, but it is in this level, because this level's hard as hell. The coins are. Dude, the second coin is stupid. Oh, God. Yeah, that's a really hard coin. 100 clicks doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it sure is. I was fighting for every opportunity I could to get as many clicks in as possible, and eventually I got there. First coin's free, third coin is not free, but it's a lot easier than the second one. Otherwise, this level is just, you know, it's just kind of your basic 9-star. I'd give like a solid 6. I'm only including this because of that stupid coin, not because it's like a super interesting level or anything. Again, it's not a bad level. It's fine. I mean, but I am far more concerned with the difficulty of that coin than I am the level itself. That's probably gonna be the hardest, or one of the hardest levels I have to play during this sort of streak of recent rates or whatever. So that's something to work with. But you know, what can you do? Yay! 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 God! Dude, this level hurt me. How bad did it hurt me? It really didn't hurt me that bad. 662 attempts with 157 normal. Yeah, that's fine. That's honestly a pretty good performance for a GADL 14. But man, I struggled with this more than I should have, especially because I got far pretty early on. Like, I got my 7, or was it 16? I don't know. I got one of these decent runs, like, to the duel pretty fast. And then I started to suck at the beginning, especially the wave for some reason. I don't know what that was all about. I just had like a really weird experience with this one, just in terms of progression and regression and all that. So that was kind of jarring, but yeah, let's talk about the level itself. It's pretty cool. I like this. It did get a little weird sometimes, but I think that's not inherently a bad thing. The thing is, there's some slightly frustrating gameplay in this level. Stuff that demands a lot of timing on your behalf. A lot of focus, adapting to really tricky patterns. But it's also very rhythmic in a way. But I think that works in tandem with the visuals of this level, because this level is very deliberately cluttered and messy and really hard on the eyes. It's supposed to feel really trippy and weird. And I think it sets up a really nice atmosphere, especially how it uses this cool laid-back jazz track. Because in a level like this, you'd expect some sort of, I feel like you'd expect a Korai or a King Bastard or some song artist like that who does really, weird, syncopated digital stuff. But this is just a cool little jazz track in this otherwise super hectic, chaotic environment, and I think that's a pretty cool thing. Just the vibe it creates. And it feels like an actively hostile level too. The name Scarred Hands is already like right away sort of interesting. Like, it kind of has like this degree of, like, it feels somewhat disturbing, but in a way that doesn't really mean anything. And I feel like the level kind of represents that, because it feels like it's this harsh environment, but like it doesn't really, at the outset, it doesn't really seem like any sort of trickery is going on in this place. It's just, that's what the cool laid-back jazz track sort of serves to do. Makes it feel more welcoming, even though it is visually obviously not. I don't know, kind of an out there analysis. I'm struggling to formulate my sentences to describe this, but I still think it's a really, really cool visual style. And again, the gameplay can be weird, but it kind of serves to elevate the weird, chaotic nature of the visuals, because they are just so hard to see through. It's really thick, and it's got these really saturated colors that clash and kind of hurt your eyes, but in a cool way. Again, it's that sort of feeling of simulated pain through metaphor, I guess, if you wanted to think about it that way. I just think it's really cool. The only part that I would really critique is the duel. I think the duel has a really cool concept going on, but I think the timing's just a little bit tight for its own good. I think that part would work better if it was all about the observation of the indicators and less about the actual specific timing. Because if that were made more lenient, I think it would have been a lot more effective. But I still think it's a really cool concept, because those indicators were really hard to parse through the thick fog and decoration. So yeah, that's a really cool thing too. And then you've also, beyond just the cluttered, hard to see nature of it, you've got some really cool structuring here too. The spikes are stacked in really neat ways that sort of weave into each other to create these cool sharp formations. Overall, it just looks really, really cool. And it's very atmospheric to boot. So I'm thinking a low 8 on this one. Maybe I'm a little biased. I am kind of, my B tier is kind of stacked right now. So I'm like, I kind of want to fill in the A tier more, but at the same time, I don't really want to be like partial, because just for their filling tears. I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10 for now. Although don't be surprised that this drops down to a 7 later at some point. I do think 8 is pretty fair for the time being, though. A really cool level, though. Had a good time with that. Moving on to Cycle's Copy. Yay! I didn't really practice to the end because I was trying to... Don't kill me, please, please. Thank God. Yeah, I wasn't sure because I didn't practice it because I wanted to keep my practice music on. That was fun. I like this one. A lot more than Can't Let Go copy. This one's just a lot cooler because it has a lot more going on in it. I think it has more unique designs throughout. And the gameplay is a little bit more engaging. There's not very many parts of it where you're just told to kind of hold throughout a section or whatever. Not a bunch of auto stuff. A lot more thoughtful. It isn't balanced the best. I feel like a couple parts are a little harder than others. I didn't care as much for the robot in this level. That part got on my nerves a little bit just because the structures were a little bit hard to read. Plus, the coin route makes it harder to understand as well. What else in this level? I don't know. I think there's just a lot of really cool things in it, and I love how it experiments with the gameplay. In particular, I love the final section, or that final ball, where you kind of stick to the bottoms of the platforms. That's just really gimmicky and cool and fun. I enjoyed that. There's a lot of really cool stuff. The ship is really fluid, but it's more like a checklist of stuff that I really like. You know, there's not like a huge overarching theme. It's just a lot of cool gimmicks. If I only had one criticism, other than the robot part, it would be that the level doesn't really represent cycles all too well. The ball isn't super common throughout. Like, there's a couple of ball sections, but it's very experimental. It doesn't represent cycles the greatest, especially because it uses stuff from after the like gameplay-wise stuff from after cycles. Was that 1.1? I don't even remember when that update cycles is. I have no clue. Anyway, my point is this is a pretty cool level. It's not like super faithful to the theme, but I don't think it's really meant to be because it's kind of a joke level. I could have done the bit where I'm like, this level's made by RobTop, but I did that with with Can't Let Go, so I wasn't bothered with it here. This is a good level. I'd give it an 8, but I'd give it a relatively like low to middle of the road 8, just because, you know, it's it's just not super. It's not that deep. It's a little fun gameplay, good looking level. And that's about it. I enjoyed it though. Fun times, fun times. Not bad at all. Yes! Gosh, man. I don't like this one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know people like Hypermania. I don't like Hypermania. This is not fun. I'm so glad I got it when I did. This could have easily taken way, way longer, but I got pretty lucky there. And I'm sorry for cheesing the coin. I know. Really terrible, awful behavior of me. But if it were a level I actually, like, enjoyed, I would totally have done it legitimately. But I just had to do the pause strategy because there was no way I was going to be consistent enough to get that accurately. I think in practice, I threw a ton of attempts at the wall, and I got it, like, 2 or 3 times. And I was like, this isn't happening. So I found a different strategy. And that got me there in the end. But dude, man, I don't know. Like, I don't hate it. I'm not gonna curse this to the Shadow Realm. I mean, I feel like the level it reminds me the most of is Antichamber. But that would be pretty extreme of a comparison. Because I really hate Antichamber. Like, that's like my least favorite demon pretty much of last year. So it would be really unfair to call this as bad as that because I did not have nearly as horrible of an experience. But it does have some similar things. It's designed, obviously the balancing is not great. It's, again, not as bad, but the first ship is pretty free compared to everything else, which gets pretty tough as you go. I don't think it ever gets as hard as the anti-chamber drop, but it's not easy. But that, and it also has some really frustrating moving objects. The ship here in the thumbnail has these rotating things that you just can't see very well. You kind of have to just trust the trail. The wave section's just really spammy and awkward. The sections between aren't that much better, like in the intermittent sections with different game modes. Or no. It's actually, no, it's all wave until that final cube. That cube I didn't end up doing because I did the coin route, but those dash roads are just really janky. Like, they don't always line you up properly. And then the final ship is stupid because I like it conceptually. The skewed angle is pretty neat, but the way it jerks up and down with the moving blocks is just so disorienting and so frustrating. I did not enjoy playing that final ship at all, and it's a big chunk of the level too, which doesn't help. Overall, I don't hate this level. Like, it has some fun moments in it, but like, it's not doing enough to really redeem itself for me with its good parts, and that's kind of just the crux of it. I think visually it's pretty alright, but it's not super unique either. Like, the effects are really cool. I especially like the way the last section looks, even if it doesn't play super well. It kind of reminds me of Eternal Vehemence with its design, the kind of slopey, coordinated structuring. But it's just kind of, you know, it's nothing immaculate. And that's how I feel about most of the level. Like, it looks cool, the effects are neat, but like, it doesn't make me feel a certain way. I'm just kind of mixed on it. I'd give this a 4. I don't give very many 4s, so seems like a good time as any. Didn't hate this level, but I didn't really enjoy it either. I just feel very lukewarm on the whole thing. And I really would not want to come back here either. It's acceptable, but I'm not super thrilled about that one. Yeah, could be better. About freaking time! God, dude! Why did this have to take me so long? That is not a 2,000 attempt level. This should have been like 1,000 tops. Like, it is not that hard. It is not that hard. But it just was for me for some reason. I just sucked at this. I don't know why. Dude. Okay. I like this level. Pretty much. It's kind of cool. It's a pretty, you know, pretty standard, classic 1.9 mega collab. That I think is pretty cool for a lot of reasons. Overall, it's a lot of super fun, frantic, fast-paced gameplay that just flows really nicely. Some of the ship parts are especially cool. I love how tight some of the areas of the ships are. Really treacherous, tricky stuff. And I love how it kind of slows down in, I think, Daddy Pro's part. Near the middle point before throwing you right back into the action. It kind of builds back up over time. I think there's a lot of really fun parts in this level, but this is the one thing I hate about this level. I wouldn't say the one thing, but the absolute crux of this level, this stupid memory ball. Oh my god, Viper's memory ball single-handedly drops this down from a 7 to a 6. I swear. I hate the memory ball in this level. It is such an agonizingly hard to remember part. Like, memory balls on their own kind of suck, but that one is constructed in such a way that just feels awful to die to. Like, it just kind of feels like I'm guessing. Eventually you get consistent with it, but it just does not feel satisfying at any point throughout the progression of, or the learning process of this level. I hate Viper's part in this level. And it's not the only rough part. I think the dual part is kind of awkward, doesn't feel very great. And a couple things earlier in the level could be better. Like, I think everything in this level, aside from the memory ball, is fine, but oh my god, it just was not fun because of that one section. Being so far in the level after most of the hard stuff. And on top of that, overall the balancing is not very good. Like, you've got some sections that are basically medium demon gameplay, then others that are kind of insane demon gameplay. So the front half is a lot easier, which means it is easier to get into a good run. Like, it's easier to find that flow state instead of dying over and over at the start. But it did mean that I wasn't getting into the hard parts very consistently, which was draining. I would give this a 6 out of 10. I wanted to give it a 7. I'd still give it a high 6 probably, but man, it's gonna be more fun. I wanted to enjoy this so much, but it just drained the hell out of me. It's pretty decent all around, but god, man, that's just crazy. And I should be home free, right? Don't fumble it, but there we go. Love to see it. Sweet. Okay, well that was an interesting level. Triple quest, what? That's wild. Man, I love it. I love the triple quest and the completion. The level itself, it's okay. Sorry. No disrespect to micosta GD, the legendary elusive creator. But this level's just fine. I mean, like, it's really hard to judge because, you know, the coin route is just so ridiculous. I mean, it's nothing like the original route, or like the main route. And honestly, I'm not convinced it's even harder. I'm convinced it might be easier because, like, it makes a lot of things kind of trivial. Like, the last section of the level, for example, literally just hold the button. Like, it's a funny visual, but, like, that's it. And then I don't really know if the UFO spam is easier or harder than the main route. It's probably, like, harder from, like, a technical perspective, but, like, it's less of a learning process. You literally just have to be able to spam. Well, I feel like the coin route is more execution-based and less memory-based, which is probably why it feels so much easier, because I'm not generally good at memory. But it's just kind of weird to judge because so much of it is different. And I'm really wondering whether I'd like this level more or less if I did the regular route. I'm thinking I'd like it more because it'd be more of an experience instead of just goofy one-off gimmicks. But I don't know, because, like, there's some parts that do play normally, and I'm just not a fan of them. Like, the very beginning, for example, I don't care that much for. It's mostly in the first few jumps, but the whole section just feels kind of awkward and blind and weird. That part I just don't care for that much. And there's a lot of other little things that are bothersome. Weird, hard to see hitboxes, flashing lights, you know. It's just kind of strange. I do still think it's a solid level overall. I have a lot of respect for the visual design. It's got that classic durianhead, micosta GD style, where it's a lot of sort of, you know, saturated colors and shapes stacked on top of each other, and it's very flashy. I don't know, it's cool. Just got a very, like, messy feeling, yet really cool design. A lot of symmetry there. It's neat. I like this level visually. And the gameplay's fine, but it's not that great. It has some awkward stuff. It does a lot of those classic durianheadisms, where it's like sometimes you just have to hold throughout a section, or it's just about, you know, it's hard to describe. Durianhead has a certain kind of style that I really like, but at the same time it doesn't make for the greatest gameplay of all time. Same can be pretty much applied to the RobTopArchiver stuff. So, you know, it's just that style, which I respect. It's just not perfect. It can be a little bit weird to play at times, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just being nitpicky. The game. So overall, I think it's a pretty impressive level. Very technically competent. I like it overall. Just, I don't know. I'd probably give it like a decent 6 out of 10. I'm just kind of lukewarm as a whole, but not bad. Oh, this is cute. I love the little music box effect, or the sound. This is a gorgeous song too. I know I've heard it before, but I love it so much more in this context. I mean, that's a bad way of putting it. The last level I played with it, it didn't feel like, did I miss, I'm sorry, what? Oh my god, really? Did I not get the timing right? I guess not. Well, I couldn't tell. It's fine, I'll play it again, it's fun. well, I definitely got the coin that time. Dude, I love this ending. This is just so gorgeous. This part of the song. I love this, man. That's one of the best endings in, like, any level, dude. I love that. I mean, if the song faded out, like, to a complete close, I think it'd be pretty neat. Probably would elevate that, but as is, it's still fantastic. Yeah, this is... Okay. Gosh, I like this level a lot. This has some really, really cool details and great gameplay, for the most part. It's so creative. I love the way it uses portals to shift the cameras in certain areas. Obviously that's pretty exclusive to the ball and the wave part at the end. Most of the rest of the level, like, it's still creative and gimmicky, but it doesn't use the same kind of gimmicks. Like, you've got the green orb part, which is literally just green orb, but it just feels so fluid and fun. I love the swaying motion to it, which just goes so naturally with that part of the song. Just, like, that just is a really fun part. I love the cubes in this level. Those are really fun. Require a lot of focus, remembering which one, where you do and don't want to click, where you want to hold, yada yada. That kind of thing. Just a lot of really creative stuff in this level. Just a couple of nitpicks. And I'm torn between an 8 and a 9, and I think I'm going to lean on the side of 8, because visually it's nothing, like, super impressive. It looks really clean, really nice. Nothing, like, particularly groundbreaking. But if I had to criticize the gameplay, because that's really the main area of conflict, I have, like, 2 criticisms. The first and less significant of the 2 is the very beginning of the level. I just feel like it's a little too hard. It's not that difficult. Like, don't get it twisted. It's not that hard, but it just feels like that should be building in a little bit more slowly. But instead it hits you with that pretty precise pad jump at the very start. Like, it's one of the first jumps you do. And it just kind of got frustrating to die to that over and over again, because I kind of wanted to vibe. It's a very open, airy space in the level. The song is just that one droning tone with a couple of smaller notes on top of that. But overall, it's a really, like, it feels like a very desolate part. So just to have that part a little too tightly condensed hurts the atmosphere a little bit for me, and I just didn't have as much fun with it because I couldn't see that spike I was dying to very well, so I kind of died to that every 2 or 3 attempts, which sort of started to drag a little bit. But that's also kind of a skill issue on my part. But the other part that I do have a more major complaint about, and again, I don't hate it, it would be the ship part with the mini portals. I think it's a creative idea to have the player's size change every time you hold. So when you hold, you turn big, and then when you release, it turns you small again. Which I think is a creative idea and could have been used in a really cool way. But there's like 3 issues with that, and like they're all minor, but they build up to the section being less fun. First of all, it's just kind of the way the section's structured. I really don't like the way the item or the hazards kind of bobble around in place, because like it's an already difficult to judge mechanic, like telling when something is going or when you're going to change, even though it's completely controlled by the player. It just feels unpredictable. So it feels like you get kind of blindsided by a size change, which isn't a problem in and of itself if the objects were stationary, but since they do move, it can feel like a little unfair when you die to something that kind of just moved into the wrong place at the wrong time. So that's one of the issues with it. The second is that I wish there were, this is kind of just talking about the restrictions of the game and not the level itself, but the portal effects make it a lot less fluid. Like, if the size just changed, I think it'd be a lot more reasonable, but since those portal effects show up every single time you hold and release, it just kind of feels spammy. Like, it feels like I'm playing a Danalex level, which is not a good quality to have. It just switches so much, and it really obscures your vision, so it's not even so much about reacting to the size changes as it is just trying to tell where your ship is through the sort of hazy mess that is those lightning strikes with the portal changes. And third, I just don't think it's very well utilized. I mean, it's not a bad section. I think there was a lot more potential for it, though, because really you could make that just a big ship or just a small ship, and it'd feel just about the same. I didn't really feel a significant difference. Like, maybe I'm, I can't really judge it because I haven't played it with just one size, but I feel like if that were just a mini ship, it'd be really easy. and it played just about the same as it does. I don't know about big ship because you don't have the luxury of the faster turns, the more responsive direction shifts. So maybe it would be hard as a big ship, but definitely as a small ship, I could see that being really easy. But I just don't think it's really utilized to the degree it should be. I think if it were a more boxed-in structure or system, then it'd feel a lot better, because then you would really have to think about where you want to do this and when. Because right now it just kind of feels like you can click spam through it and it works out fine as long as you're careful. But it's a little haphazard though. I like the level a lot. Everything else aside from those two areas is really fun. I love the coins in this level. I think they're super creative. The second one's kind of meh, but the other two like really play with the screen position mechanics super well. And it's just satisfying as a whole. It's creative and it's just really, really fluid across the board. I like the level a lot. And I'd like to give it a 9, and I think without those two gameplay complaints, I totally could have seen it there. But I'm just a little too bothered by those things. When in an already, like, good but not mind-blowing level. So I'm probably going to give this a solid 8. I think that's fair. This was really fun, though. I mean, don't get it wrong. I think this is a great level. I just, just a little cleaning up. This could have been phenomenal, I think. I don't think it would have ever been a 10 in any reality, but it's a good level. I had a great time with that one. Super cool. I need to play more by neigefeu because obviously a very tremendous creator, but I haven't played enough stuff. One of these days. I'll get around to it. Button. It's easy. Just hit the jump button. I think losing the words. I think the sunk cost fallacy is kind of starting to consume me a little bit. But like, this is a really easy level, so I should be able to get this. Nice and slow paced. I know it's tight, but like, come on. I know I've gotten to the end like 4 times or something. There we go. See, I knew it. I knew I had it in me. I sunk costed so hard on it, like I said. Yay. I don't know. I like the atmosphere in this level. Okay, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I really did want to like this level a lot because it's got a gorgeous, laid-back vibe to it. I love the visual style. Lots of very dark, beautiful colors with these floral patterns and just a lot of intricate detail throughout. And I think atmospherically it's pretty solid. I especially love the end where it kind of just chills out and you kind of got that nice little guitar line with the ambient noise in the background. It just feels like a really mellowed out ending. Overall, I think atmospherically it's pretty solid. Definitely the strong suit of this level. The gameplay, take it or leave it. I mean, the thing is, like, I can't pinpoint what I don't like about it. Like, there's nothing, like, inherently wrong. It's a little over-indicated, yeah, but that's not really my big issue with it. But I just can't pinpoint why I didn't enjoy this. I just didn't vibe with it from a gameplay standpoint. It's totally a fine level. I mean, if you discard the indicators, it's pretty chill. But I need to think on this before I, like, really gave a thorough review of it, because I just don't know exactly what my gameplay issue is. Maybe it just felt, like, needlessly precise, didn't match the atmosphere. That's hard to say, but there's just something I didn't like about playing this level. It's still fine. I considered a 5, but that just seems a little bit cruel when I can't even, like, you know, identify the cause of my dissatisfaction with this level. So, like, you know what? It's fine. I mean, it's a decent level. I think a 6 is fine with this. I was gonna initially be like, I might move it down if I can really, like, figure out what I don't like about this level, but it doesn't really feel necessary. I think it's a good level still, and I think the visuals carry it enough. But I really would like to give this a 7 or an 8, but the gameplay just wasn't for me. I don't know. I still need to think a little bit more thoroughly about that. It's a good level all around, but I wanted to enjoy it more, and I also wanted to beat it faster. It didn't take me forever. 503 attempts is hardly anything to scoff at. So many more normal attempts at practice attempts is crazy. And I should have had this way faster, but I died at 95 and 96 like an idiot. Happens to the best of us. Oh well. I like that level. It's cool, very sweet and atmospheric, but I did want it to play a little better. That's all. Not bad. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I probably shouldn't have done that. I have this thing where, like, after I beat a level, I always tab out to check to make sure I actually recorded it before I give my full-on review. But this level doesn't end for like 10 seconds after you actually win, which is kind of goofy. Whatever, who cares? Not a problem. Okay, crash game. Interesting. Yeah, well, kind of, again, I kind of fumbled the actual, like, completion, but who cares? What matters is just I win. Alright. I guess I have to go on for a little while about this one. It's the cherryteam level. Can you believe it? Listen. Okay. I will be a little honest here, as I should. I came into this level kind of wanting to hate it. Like, listen, I told myself before I played this level, I am not going to underrate this level because it's a cherryteam level. I don't like cherryteam as a unit. I think their design philosophy is very misguided, and generally speaking, I'm not a fan of the projects they put out. But I did want to at least play a cherryteam level, so I could try to give, like, an accurate judgment. And this seemed like a good choice because it has one of the more interesting styles, I believe. So I came to this level, I kind of wanted to dislike it, but just because, you know, cherryteam I feel very negatively towards as a whole. So I wouldn't have necessarily felt bad about that. And I do need to have something for my D tier in terms of insane demons. But I am moderately pleased to report that this level isn't that bad. For a team of creators where most of the levels tend to feel kind of soulless and corporate, this level honestly has a lot of style and it looks really good. I mean, I think this is a really beautiful level. Lots of very interesting details in the design. I love the references to old retro arcade classics. Everything moves around the screen really fluidly, which can be a detriment to the gameplay, but I'll get to that point. But I think this level has a lot more style than the average cherryteam level does. So I don't really have a problem with that. I think the level looks totally fine. And I'll just say now, I'd say I give this a solid 5 out of 10. I think that's completely fair. It's an upper 5 out of 10. Because the thing about this level is the gameplay. I mean, I have to be critical of this gameplay, man, because when you go all out with your visual decoration, you gotta be really freaking careful with the gameplay, and this level's not careful with the gameplay. The first half of it is honestly really fun. I had a great time learning and playing everything up to the drop in this level. It's, you know, it's really fluid, fast-paced, fun, requires a little bit of intricate timing on the player's behalf, but you don't have to, like, overthink it. But then you get to the drop, and the drop plays like garbage, man. Like, let's just first establish the biggest thing which is, oh my god, the balls. The balls section with the slopes? How? How does that even happen? I swear I cannot figure out the timing on those slope balls at all. Because I just click and I die. Like, sometimes it works, but other times I just die at the corner. I don't know if it's jank, but like, either way, the timing is not clear enough at all. I really have no idea how to counteract that. It just felt like I had to get lucky. Like, I had like a 75% chance of passing, and the other 25% was just death. Like, that was infuriating. Every time I died there, I just felt like I got completely robbed. Maybe if I took the time, I could have figured out a way around it, could have learned it, discovered what the actual strategy was, but it's just so visually overstimulating that it's like, how do you even comprehend it? Like, like if it were a typical level with a typical layout that I could easily see, then maybe we would have had something to work with there, and I could have actually discovered the issue. But with this degree of overdeco, oh my god, like, good luck, right? And that's just one part of it. But the rest of it just doesn't play very well. Sometimes there's parts where you can get into a flow. I think the part we're starting at the mini wave up until like the next part with like the slopes and stuff honestly functioned fine. A couple things to learn to work around, but like that part was pretty chill. It was still a little bit jankier than I would have liked, but it was fine. But it's mostly the very beginning of the drop and the very end of it, because both of those sections just don't play well at all. So many moving objects, so much click spammy gameplay that you just can't comprehend. It's so messed up. It's just not fun, which is a shame. I honestly could have given this a 6 or a 7 probably if that section were cleaned up, because genuinely I do like the visuals and stuff a lot. Again, I know, cherryteam, but out of all their projects, this one feels like it has a lot more soul than the rest. I'm happy to have played it as a first cherryteam one, just to kind of, you know, cut my teeth on that. Overall, it's fine. Maybe a misguided philosophy, but I still don't think this one is nearly as bad as some of their other projects. And generally, I had a good time with it, but man, I would have loved to actually been able to play the drop of this level, because it is bad. Whatever, what can you do? Not an awful grind, though. I would like to know what my attempt count is. I lost my attempts, but I probably would have been over 2,000 on this one, because when I turned my computer off by mistake and it didn't save my attempts. But I was over 1,000 at that point, and then I booted it back up. I was like at 300, so I would probably be in the 2,000 margin. But I just have no idea. But I guess that'll probably be listed as my lowest attempt count on Insane. For the time being, it might be. I have no idea. I haven't been keeping track. All of them. I'd have to go through and look at some of these older ones. How many did I spend on pillars? I'm just kind of going on. Oh, that was actually a lot of attempt thing. Nah, that's under 1,000. Somebody's free. whatever. I'll go through all that stuff later. Doesn't matter. Anyways, end of the day. Moral of the story: Crash game. It's fine. I think it's an acceptable level. Just wish the gameplay and the drop were better. And that's all. Not bad all around. Thank God. I'm over this level, man. Jeez. Well, gosh, man. I don't know. I feel bad about this one. I don't feel good about this. Like, this is a level I really want to like. Like, it doesn't really do anything wrong. Like, there's nothing inherently bad about this level. Yeah, a transition or two is kind of weird, but I feel like that's still kind of tied to the coin route. I feel like, as a whole, this is a fine level. Nothing wrong with it. But I just didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed it for, like, the first couple of practice runs, and then a few attempts after that, but the more I played it, the more I started to just die to, like, these asinine spike placements that just feel like they're made to ruin my day. Like, like there's just so many unnecessary things to kill you that feel so out of place. Like, if this level just removed all the mini spikes and then nerfed a couple of other things, I think it would have been a totally fine, like, easy demon. If, like, that's the best way to put it. If this were an easy demon, it'd be so much better, and I think it'd be like a solid 7 or so. Like, and you know, maybe I'm being unfair, maybe this was a skill issue. I'm totally willing to accept that as a possible reality, that I just am not up to it right now, and it's a complete me problem. But, like, I just didn't enjoy the level. I stopped having fun with this at about, like, the hour mark, and, like, from that point forward, like, how long have I been playing? It's like 3 hours? That's how long I've been recording. Like, I would have loved to enjoy this level, but man, it just started to wear me down. And I wanted to love it, but I just can't. I can't love it. It's just too frustrating. I think it'd be unfair to rate this really low. I would give it a 5. Maybe someday my heart will soften a little bit and I'll move it up to a 6. Because that honestly is probably more fair, but man, I just think if it were nerfed to like an easier medium demon, this would have been such a great time. Because it just feels like this level is destined to be, but it got too big for its britches and just sort of fell apart for me because I just got drained by it. Still a fine level. I think it's acceptable, but I think the vision was a little bit off. I think it could have gone a different way and been a little bit better, but what can you do? Not awful. There we go. There we go. Sweet. I was actually starting to kind of lose motivation. I was probably going to end the session soon, so I'm glad I got it when I did. I was exhausted. Oh, dude. That was a while. How many attempts total? 5,000? Hopefully that's accurate. Could be a little off. Doesn't seem terrible, though. Okay, sweet. Yeah. Like I said, I was about to quit playing this for the night, so I'm glad I got it when I did, because, yeah, this level, it's pretty fun, but it can drain you. Going into this level, I was actually surprised to hear how many people vehemently disliked it. I always got the impression, like, this was, you know, it wasn't a great level or anything, but, like, I didn't think anyone had a problem with this level. Like, the more I played it, I kind of started to realize, like, why people would think that way, because the beginning is really unbalanced compared to the back half. And it gets really exhausting to play that first section over and over and over again, because it's so much more difficult. And also that way, it just feels awkward, kind of. Like, you can kind of have fun with it, but at the same time, it forces you to go into some things with a really weird approach. It's just a bit strange. But beyond that point, I think the gameplay is really solid. There's something to be said about the ending ship. Not the ending ship, but like the one, like 70%, with the club set monsters and stuff. Because it's just kind of a straight fly test, like, and little else beyond that. You know, there's some interesting movement there, but a lot of it also is kind of generic. But at the same time, it just kind of, like, it feels cool to do it. Like, even if it's not immensely creative, it has, like, a feeling of satisfaction to, like, kind of thread those gaps. And everything in the middle is just really solid. You've got some weird jank in a couple places, but overall it's very fun. And then I could talk about the visual design a little bit. I mean, you know, it's a 1.9 level, but I think it's one of the better 1.9 levels, like, visually speaking. It nails the hell theme, obviously, but I also love some of the other, like, designs it does, like the flashing colors in the ball part around the middle. That's one part that just feels really cool, in combination with that little piano melody that separates the more intense parts of the song. It's a cool level. I guess if you really wanted to, if I wanted to say it, I could say this level has aura. I know that's, you know, kind of goofy, but like it kind of does, just because, you know, it has this or it did have this intimidating presence in the community many years ago. Nowadays, it's kind of not that much to talk about relative to current top ones and stuff, but hey, I think it's pretty neat. That's probably about all I have to say on it. I like Cataclysm. Overall, I'd give it actually, no, I don't say my extreme ratings. I almost slipped up. Yeah, I'll keep that one secret. Goodness. It's hard to do that, but whatever. Yeah, we don't say the extreme ratings right now. Overall, in the positive, though, I can say that much. I almost accidentally hit the easy demon button. Yeah. Okay. Glad to be halfway through the May agenda at the end of June. That's just exciting and lovely. Cool. Moving on to brighter, bigger things.